It's Monday, the 12th of February 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jitsu, 12 came into the universe meaning surrendering my personal will to divine will, or simply put, thy will be done. So my understanding is that when our safety engine lock number 12 is in harmony, then we are able to submit our personal consciousness, or our ego, to the universal consciousness, or we put our ego as the servant of our soul, essentially, and not the other way around. And safety engine lock number 12 is located here in the center of the neck. So if you cup your neck like that, where the fingers are, you can see them there, that's where it is. And so how many of us have stiff necks? Neck pain, get that condition called torticollis, where you can't turn right or left. Very often that is associated, it's a feedback from the body telling us where we are not actually aligning our will with divine will. Now, divine will could be from a religious perspective, it can be from a broader spiritual perspective, it can be from a universal law perspective. You know, it's a bit like if you don't align yourself with the laws of gravity and you try and walk off a building at 10 stories into the sky, you are going to fall down, you are going to plummet, and you are very likely going to die. So that is the same with universal law. The more we are out of alignment with how things truly operate in the universe, well, the more feedback we have to get to try and get us back on track. It's like a GPS that's continuously trying to lead us back on track. So when you hold safety engine lock number 12, when you cup your neck like this, you're holding 12. You can hold it together with your thumb and your ring finger. You can hold it with any one of the fingers, actually, depending on what you're trying to do. You can hold it with safety engine lock number 20. When you're doing this, you're actually aligning your vision with cosmic vision. So you're aligning your will with divine will, and you're actually basically opening your vision, broadening your vision, so that you can appreciate the big picture in your life. We can also, of course, just hold the finger. So safety engine lock number 12 happens to be on the middle finger, but I'll mention that towards the end again. So 12 is a 3, and 3 is a fire number. It's a number of creativity. It's the number of movement. It's the number of expansion. So in the root of the life map today, we have 3, and we have the 2 from February and the 2 from 2018. So we have fire and water. A bit more water than fire, but at least we've got the two opposingly polar elements. So what this means is you could be very expansive, very creative, really wanting to go out there, wanting to make your mark, seeing the end result, putting together a strategy, being very strategized, being very focused, being very, very much connected to your list of things to do. And then you may find that your emotions start impacting on you, because that's where the water numbers come from, the 2 from February and the 2 from 2018. So today we have the opportunity to connect to the fire element, which is drive and creativity and getting things done, as well as the water element, which is associated with nurture and balance, nurturing ourselves, nurturing others, and appreciating the balance. So seeing the downsides of too much drive, seeing the downsides of getting everything ticked off your to-do list, seeing the upside of connecting to your emotions and doing a bit more being and possibly a bit less doing. So the hero is the 7. 7 is also a water number. So we've got a lot of water in the top line of the life map today. And the 7 is about introspection. The 7 is about creating space in order to be alone. It's about reconnecting with who you really are. And when you can reconnect with who you really are, when you connect with your higher self, then it becomes easier for you to align your personal consciousness with universal consciousness. And 7 gives us this opportunity today in the hero position. 7s are regenerated by being alone. They're regenerated by being in nature. So if you find yourself being overwhelmed, if you find yourself being highly emotional, if you can get yourself into a green space or to the beach, even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes, or a forest, or just the garden, right? Anywhere where there is greenery, it helps you to reconnect to nature, and nature is the expression of this divine universal consciousness. So when you can connect to nature, then you can connect once more to that aspect of yourself. The villain today is the 1. Yes, it's the one. The villain today is the one. So when we have one in the villain position, this is the critical voice in the head, remember? So this is the one that tells you that you're not good enough, that you're never going to get everything done, that if you don't get to that to-do list today and you spend too much time buggering around with all this being stuff and not enough doing, if you just can get out of your heart and a bit more into your head, then you'll be a bit more motivated. Stop procrastinating. You're too old, you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're too stupid, you're too lost, you're too messed up. That's the critical voice of the one that potentially is going to lead us down the garden path today. So it's in the villain position. That is where we are at our most insecure and we put in our most vulnerable. And that's very often when we put on the mask of our ego. So we might find ourselves coming out fighting or being arrogant or being secure in how right we are and trying to force our way of doing or being or thinking onto others today. Guard against that. Safety engine lock number 12 is located on the middle finger. When we hold the middle finger, we harmonize the liver and gallbladder organ function energies, and that has got to do with issues around belief and trust. When we cannot believe that we are capable of stepping into our own power, and when we cannot trust that there is a universal order out there that once we understand it and we know how to work with it, we can actually rely on, then it's very difficult for us to align our consciousness with divine consciousness. So when we hold the middle finger, it helps to strengthen our belief, not only in ourselves, but in our belief in whatever it is that our belief system is, and our trust that we are capable of weathering all storms. It also helps to harmonize anger and resentment and frustration and guilt. And it, of course, helps the body to detoxify because it's helping to harmonize the liver and gallbladder organ function energy. So hold your middle finger today. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you hear the critical voice in your head, just stop, be aware that that's what it is, and ask yourself if what it's saying is entirely true, because there's always an alternative story. I hope you have an amazing Monday, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.